What's up, everybody? Big Herc 916, and you tuned in to another edition of my vlog. Hopefully by now you guys have subscribed to the channel, because you know I'm all about the positivity and the motivation, and I try to stay inspiring you guys to do something great with your life. You know, I get a lot of questions from fans, people that ask me different things, and I try to keep everything very positive and really give you some insight so you don't make the same mistakes I did in my life. And somebody had just recently asked me, should they join a gang? And I told them, why were they considered joining a gang? What were they looking for from that relationship? And do they think that once they joined, they could leave at any time? And they really couldn't answer those questions, and they didn't really know why they were joining to begin with, outside of just hanging out with a group of individuals and feeling like they wanted to fit in. You know, as a youngster, I did a lot of things that I wouldn't advocate today, because I was young, I didn't have any mentors, I didn't have any real insight on how to be a man. But joining a gang, you're young, you have the world at your hands, literally, because of social media. We didn't have social media when I was growing up. You have, you know, so many different opportunities, and you're considering doing something that's gonna pigeonhole you or have you caught up for the rest of your life. I mean, take, for instance, somebody like this guy, Tekashi 69. He runs around talking about all this high-powered blood stuff, you know, telling people to, you know, suck on this and do that. But, you know, he has never had to be in the trenches to do anything. He's a, what you call it, a paid member. He paid some real motherfuckers to be a blood. He don't have to gangbang. See, a real gangbanger, you don't have access to travel on private jets. You're not running around in different countries, performing on stage, making all this money talking blood. No, it doesn't work like that. And anybody that's a real ex-gang member or gang member that's older, that's more mature, they would tell you, man, there's no benefits in joining the gang. There's no 401k. There's no retirement. There's no travel benefits. There's none of that. Most of the guys in the gang have never even left the block. You know, they've been in and out of jail their whole life, and they haven't really been there for their kids, and it's a whole negative connotation around the association. If you had the opportunity, why would you not want to put yourself around a bunch of nerds, a bunch of people that are creating a future for themselves, people who are looking for opportunity? Okay, you're in a gang, you're with the homie. He tells you, you gotta carry the sack today, or you gotta go pick up some drugs. You get pulled over with those drugs, or you get caught with those drugs at your house, you're going to jail. Who's gonna pay for your lawyer? Who's gonna contact your mom and tell her that you got locked up? Who's gonna take care of your kids? Who's gonna pay your bills while you're locked up? Okay, the drug scenario. Because everybody wants to be a drug dealer now. Everybody thinks they're a big drug dealer. Scenario number two, they're the beef. Now, most of these guys can't fight, so they're not gonna just fight, catch a fade, and call it a day. They want to get violent with it. So they want somebody to hold the gun, carry the gun, or drive by and shoot the gun. Okay, you want to be in the car. You're in the car with these guys. You're not even a trigger man. You're in the car. You're an accessory to attempted murder if you get pulled over and the gun was discharged, if you didn't hit anybody. If you hit somebody, you're going down for murder. Murder one, with everybody else in the car. You're looking at life in prison, possible capital punishment, that means death, and you're fucked. Your young life is in prison for the rest of your life because you want to be in the gang shit. You want to hang out, hold the gun, be in the car with the gun, witness a drive-by, see somebody fall, all that good shit. See, the rappers talking all that shit, they got bodyguards holding the gun. They got somebody else squeezing the trigger. They're not running around with the gun because you'd be a goddamn fool to run around with the gun and actually commit a murder with all the cameras they got in this society right now. You'd be a damn fool to commit murder and then talk about it on Instagram or YouTube or Twitter and think that you're the man. You're a damn fool, man, and you're going down. You think murder has no statute limitation for you dumb motherfuckers out there. They will hunt you down for murder for years. DNA evidence right now is solving murders that have been cold cases for over 50 years. So you want to be a damn gangster? You want to commit a murder? You talk about you committed a murder and you think that you're a murderer? No, motherfucker, you will go down. Ain't nobody who talks about being a murderer ever murdered anybody. So why the fuck you want to be a gang member shooting people? You want to just waste your life. You put all that toughness and all that into the gang. You want to be the super gangster, gang member, but you have a kid out there you're not taking care of. You got 2 or 3 baby mamas. You're basically throwing away all your life opportunities. But you're not stupid. You're actually smart when you read. You can actually articulate yourself when you want to. You can actually do math real well, or maybe even talk 2 languages. So you could be possibly be a translator for a corporation or a business. So you're not stupid, but you want to be stupid. That's being stupid. That's being real fucking stupid. So when you talk about joining a gang, if you want to go to the pen and had a big homie telling you to go on a mission to put a motherfucking a knife in your ass, you know what I mean, to the yard in case it goes down, or if you want somebody to have you keep the drugs in the room when you go to the pen, and you want to take your mom through a bunch of drama and just have her age beyond her days because she's worried about you, something happening, and then and basically at that point leave your kids to be a little bastard because they don't have a dad, so now they're running around doing the same shit you're doing because you were a bad role model. Join the gang. Join the gang, man. Join the gang, be a super gangster. Yeah, sit up in the pen, you know, call on the phone, be mad at people, trying to check your broad, who she's fucking on the street, you know, try to tell people to do stuff for you over the phone and see how they listen. Tell your baby's mama to bring your little boo-boo up there so he can see you, you know what I'm saying? Join the gang. Sit up in there, have the homies tell you what to do, participate in riots, deal with incidents with COs, staff members, hang out in prison, because that's the only place you're gonna be hanging out. If you're really a gangster, you're gonna go to the pen one day. I went to juvenile hall, I went to California Youth Authority, and I went to federal penitentiary. So I know, I've been to all 3. When I was in the mix, I thought it was cool, 15, 16, oh, what's up, cuz, woo, woo, wop, I'm, you know, getting down, bing, bong, boo, getting down with motherfuckers. You know, I thought it was cool. I represented my hood. But some of my homies were bloods. So we blood, cuz, we fucking around this family, though. You know, I go to juvenile hall, that shit's serious. Oh, bloods over here, Crips over here. Oh, cuz, where you from? Oh, blood, where you from? Blah, 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 blah. That's how it was going down. But, you know, back then, you might, you know, hear about somebody doing a shooting here and there, but it was hands. Motherfuckers at 15, 16 was putting up 2, 3 wheels, repping. So you had youngsters, 17 years old, that was strong as motherfucking bulls, and it was like, come on, let's catch a fade. Come on, homie, let's go in the blinds. You were getting down. You had to chunk these things. You know what I mean? If you couldn't chunk them, and what nobody, you know what I'm saying, all off the lean and the E-pills and the Xannies and the oxys. Nah, motherfuckers was about their hands. They might have been drinking or smoking a little weed, but everybody was about these hands. So it was a totally different situation. I've been shot at. I've been in close range, serious situations. It ain't nothing to brag about. I don't try to act like, you know, it's glamorous or basically make it seem Hollywood. But I learned the hard way, man, and I wasn't a dummy either. I was a good student, and I just got mixed up with, you know, people that I thought were cool, and I idolized a lifestyle. It was a lifestyle for me because I thought being a gangster, you know, I could be like, you know, I watched Scarface and all that shit, and, you know, and looked up to John Gotti. I was, you know, I thought that was some real shit, man. But you realize, man, that it ain't all that. A lot of your homeboys that you deal with behind closed doors are on dope. They're fucking thieves. They're fucking liars. You can't trust them. So the dude you're kicking it with, a lot of times is a dude who's gonna eventually maybe set you up over drugs, maybe over some pussy, just maybe over some money, anything. You know, I've seen dudes that get people caught up because they owe somebody and they don't tell you, but have you hanging out with them, and now you got the same debt they got, and if you don't handle, you can get killed. You know, I'm talking about outside the pen. You know, drug deal went bad. You were there with the deal, so you're now an accessory to that deal that went bad. So the gangbanging stuff, it's all a fantasy for most people out here nowadays. They run around, oh, you know, the ones who are really making the money, they're on TV, they're fantasized, they're fantasy thugs. You know, they're fantasy gangsters. They're in Hollywood, you know, color hair, and, you know, they got gold and all this stuff. They look like they're fucking balling, they're doing their thing, but they're not in the trenches, man. They don't live in the projects. They're not at a house where they gotta be strapped up because somebody might kick in the door at night. They're not worrying about the police raiding their crib because they're selling dope out of a trap house. They're not transporting drugs across state lines. They're not dealing with the cartel making moves, selling birds or selling crates of motherfucking pills or whatever the case may be, or moving guns or carrying a gun. They're not doing that shit. That's what the motherfucking gangsters in the street are doing. And the motherfuckers who are really doing it ain't even talking about it. They're quiet. The real motherfuckers is quiet. They're not on social media telling motherfuckers shit. They're quiet. Knowing what I know now, because of all the effort I put into that, I wish I would have put that into going to an Ivy League school, maybe going to Dartmouth, Yale, Harvard, Brown, you know, Princeton or somewhere. Or Yale. I wish I would have had that type of intensity for being a gangster as I did for being a motherfucking student, because I would have put myself in a position to be around people who now run the motherfucking country. That's what I would have been around. Not the people who are underneath the people who run the country, but the people who run the country. Whether it don't, and if it wasn't even Ivy League, it could have been Stanford, could have been Berkeley, USC, but I would have been around the people who run the fucking country. They run the country. People in those major universities that got big endowments. Ask somebody what Harvard's endowment is. It's over 60 billion, brother. 60 billion. Now ask your hood what their endowment is. Ask them how much property they got. Ask how many alumni from your fucking gang are doing something. 0. Yeah. The alumni gangsters will probably smoke the fuck out or in the pen for life or doing nothing. And the ones that are out, you know, that are giving back, they're telling you the same shit I'm telling you, that this shit's a fucking joke and that this Hollywood fancy shit and these dudes out here doing these petty ass crimes to be a part of something is some bullshit. You've been hoodwinked. Yeah. You've been hoodwinked, man. I wish I would have spent my time doing something else, man. I used to work out, train to fight motherfuckers all the time, you know, get into it with fools. And when I was young, though, you know, stupid shit. As I got older, I seen a little bit different, but I wish I would have caught that young because it had such an impression on me. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, such an impression that lifestyle, that culture. If I could take it all back, I would have never participated in that shit, man. Like I said, I would have been hanging around smart motherfuckers, creating apps. You know, we didn't have apps back then, but I would have been, you know, doing things, you know, that were on a larger scale. I would have been thinking out the box. You know, college people, you meet friends, and they are all successful. You hang around success, you'll be success. You hang around shit, you're gonna be shit. Yeah, you'll be shit. And let me tell you something about the tar baby. You guys don't know about the fucking tar baby. And what I mean by the tar baby is when you touch something, tar, you can't get it off your hands. See, so you touch it and you try to wash it off, and even when you wash it, it leaves black stuff on your hands, sticky shit. So when you touch the tar baby, that shit follows you. So you try to lead a gang, now the gang members are mad because now you're trying to be a dropout. They think, oh, you try to get in and get out. So now you got to deal with that. So now you got to deal with a motherfucker who don't like you because you no longer want to associate. Real friends don't give a fuck. Oh, man, you're moving all the time. Okay, oh, congratulations on your job promotion. Congratulations, man, you know, on getting married, on your new life or whatever you're doing. They don't give a... Real friends are happy for you to move on in life, for you to make advancements, for you to elevate. People down here, they want to keep you down here because that's where they want you at, because they want you at the same place they're at. Because as soon as you elevate and they see you, it creates a sense of jealousy, and they would rather you not try to do nothing because they're not trying to do nothing. Because if you do something, that means that they might have to do something and they're not trying to do anything. So, you talking about gangs? That's why you shouldn't join a gang, man. That's why you should be a motherfucking square, stick to the books, you know what I mean? I'm fortunate that I was able to see both sides of the lifestyle, people who were in college, people who were in the lowest of the low in the streets, but I would rather just be able to see it from the outside and tell somebody about it rather than you have to experience it. So don't join a gang. It's some fucking bullshit. Ain't no benefits, ain't no motherfucking scholarships, ain't no retirement, ain't no bonuses, it ain't shit. Death, drugs, possibly drug addiction, penitentiary time, jail time, or losing your family, hardship, loss of welfare, loss of your kids. It's a bunch of negatives, man. Bunch of negatives. So I'm keeping it real with you, Big Herc 916. You know, and you don't, you know, be you, man. Be you, and you're just fine. You don't have to try to fit in and become something you're not just to have friends, man. There's a lot of good people, man, in positive places.